excited for today's special presidential address, which is Bhavan himself is going to give on the topic of AI and yoga, which is the future of spiritual awakening, directly from the Supreme Point of Hinduism. I know everyone is so excited today, and we are also excited with so many segments today. And Kailasas all around the world, almost like 140 countries, are joining today for this grand celebration of International Yoga Day.
Celebration of the International Yoga Day. Kailasa is also celebrating this grand occasion of the International Yoga Day. And we have the occasion, on this grand occasion, on the Kailasa's International Yoga Day, the 2024. We, with the grace and blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nityananda Paramashivam, the United States of Kailasa, in collaboration with Kailasa Uniting Nations for Yoga, is pleased to bring you the presidential address by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the International Yoga Day competition on this occasion of the International Yoga Day 2024.
Yes. I think when we heard about yoga, there are so many things comes into your mind. And today we bringing you the Kailasa's Nityananda Yoga, the authentic yoga directly from the source. And we all know today yoga is becoming $1 billion business now. And today in this segment we're gonna bring the truth or the source of yoga, where it came. And this entire segment we're gonna have the three important truths which Bhagavan has revealed about yoga. And we also have Kailasa is hosting a International Yoga Day competition, and we have participants from almost like 15 to 20 countries. They have joined us today, and we also have a winners for all of them as well. So today, there is an exciting sessions today, and we'll make sure that we both of us try to engage you in an exciting way. So keep tuned with us. We take you for the multiple segments today, and also we have a special presidential address directly from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. To start with, yes.
Yes. So before we entering into the segments for today, like the yoga competition and the other exciting segments up ahead, let us first look at the authentic source of yoga, from where the yoga originated, how the yoga itself happened on the planet Earth. For almost around many thousands of years, the yoga has been there. And the founder of yoga, the yogis around the world, enlightened masters, the Patanjali is the father of yoga. Everyone knows that Patanjali is the father of yoga. He presented a system called Ashtanga Yoga, comprising the 8 dimensions, the 8 different aspects of yoga, approximately about 3,000 years ago. We know that this happened around 3,000 years ago, but there is something that we actually do not know about yoga, the origin of yoga itself, which is about actually 60,000 years ago, before the happening of Patanjali. Before Patanjali organized and taught the yoga happened 60,000 years before that itself. A powerful being walked on the planet Earth, assuming the physical form, assuming the physical form, revealing the science of yoga for the first time on planet Earth. This was about 60,000 years before Patanjali taught the Ashtanga Yoga to the whole world. Yes. And the direct revelations in the Akashic records, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revealed that through the practice of yoga, one can attain beneficent accomplishments, he can attain liberation, he can ascend to the state of inaffirmable bliss. Yoga is not just postures and breathing techniques, but the very science of achieving the space, radiating the state, and manifesting the powers, the Shaktis.
So that is the first thing we all need to know. So with all due respect, Bhagavan says the benefit of yoga, but the truth is yoga is from Hinduism. See, and also Bhagavan says the moment you start bending your body to do the namaskar, you are a living Hindu. So there's a direct statement from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
And we need to understand that yoga cannot be developed as a separate from Hinduism. yoga is from the Hinduism, and it cannot be separated from Hinduism. It is a perfect system that was revealed by Bhagavan Paramashiva himself and further organized by living enlightened masters, disciples of Paramashiva, of Bhagavan Paramashiva himself, over the thousands and thousands of years with a clear purpose and vision. Yoga is a complete science that has taken into account all types of body parts, all types of bodies, past, present, and the future. And the yoga is developed with the source of Hinduism, from the source of Hinduism. And altering yoga is not, it cannot happen. It cannot be diluted or it cannot be separated from Hinduism itself.
I think this is something which we all need to know, that altering yoga. I think today many modern people claims that, okay, I'm developing yoga, all that. See, understand the fact that altering yoga is never a development. It is just a dilution. And the third fact, the truth which we are bringing directly from the supreme point of Hinduism is yoga is a science of radiating enlightenment. Many things yoga is just for a physical well-being. It is just all about bending body. No, it is not that. Yoga is not just bending the body. It is it is not just a science of keeping you healthy. Yoga is a science of radiating enlightenment. Yoga is not just the ability to strengthen your body. It is ability to manifest what you want. Yoga is not all about making you the better man. Yoga is all about making you a superhuman.
Yoga is the ultimate science of the divine, manifesting in man. It is designed to experience oneness, the Advaita, express all the mystical powers outlined by Paramashiva himself. In the Shastras, Paramashiva has revealed various different components of yoga. And now we will be looking at the Nityananda Yoga as well, as revived by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nityananda Paramashivam himself. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the 108th, the 1008th incarnation of Bhagavan Paramashiva himself, has revived the Shashtanga Yoga through the Kailasa's Nityananda Yoga. The Kailasa's Nityananda Yoga started when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was just merely the age of 10 years old. He got personally initiated by Arunagiri Yogeshwara, Paramashiva himself, into the ancient Hindu science of yoga and intensely supported by his yoga guru, Yogananda Puri. So the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism first started revealing the science of yoga.
Is all about the essence of the best of the best. It's all about the essence of the best of the best of the 1 million yogic scriptures available from all the sampradayas of the Sanatana Hindu Dharma. I don't know how many of you know that Swamiji Bhavan have spent millions of dollars on reviving this entire yoga. And we all know that Hinduism has different sampradayas and everyone has the different practices, all that. Swamiji have spent so much of time, and this Nityananda, Kailasa's Nityananda Yoga is all about the essence of the best of the best of the 1 million yogi scriptures available from the sampradayas of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. And as per the vision of Bhagavan Paramashiva to manifest the extraordinary superhuman powers, which is the Shaktis through yoga. And that is why Bhagavan says yoga is not just bending the body, it is to give you that experience of radiating the enlightenment experience. Bhagavan have done that. And we all know that we all like Kailasa's Nityananda Yoga also got multiple world Guinness records and Asia Book of Records for this purpose. And to brief more about what the contributions the Supreme Court of Hinduism have done to the yoga now.
Yes. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revived over 1,108 significantly validated kriyas, which are combinations of postures, movements, and breaths, specifically targeted to the 108 major diseases or disorders such as diabetes, arthritis, blood pressure, rheumatism, and many other problems that are faced by the humanity. Just by practicing these kriyas, the cure for each of these can be attained.
I think this is something which is very important to the today's modern world, that we all look for the scientific evidence, right? So what Supreme Court of Hinduism have done is bringing this 108 scientifically validating kriyas, which is like combinations of the postures, movement, and especially for this 108 main the common day issues, the blood pressures, all that which humanity is having in current days. And one more the contribution of the Supreme Founder of Hinduism to yoga is he have periodically trained yoga practitioners to be a yogacharya, and they can teach yoga, who teaches the authentic science of Nityananda yoga to the world at the large. And we all today know that how, as we mentioned earlier, yoga is becoming a billion-dollar business now, and everyone start understanding the value of yoga. And with his love and compassion and dedication towards reviving yoga, the Supreme Founder of Hinduism have trained thousands and thousands of people to be a yogacharya so they can teach and convey this authentic yoga to millions.
Yes. And through this revival of yoga, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revived the ancient pole yoga, which is the Shivastambha yoga, and the rope yoga, which is the Kundalini Rajyo yoga, in which the yogic asanas, the postures, are practiced on the weight balancing techniques and performed to create a yogic physiology and aligning to the cosmic geometry that manifests the super consciousness through your body. Yoga is not just practicing some postures, it is experiencing the union with the divine, with the cosmic energy itself, aligning your DNA to the cosmic geometry. That is what the yoga is practiced for. It is to experience that highest state of consciousness. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is doing that also through the Kundalini Rajju and the Shivastambha yoga.
And Kailasa's Nityananda Yoga also have, through with the blessings, the grace and blessings of Supreme Founder of Hinduism, have published almost the original ancient 1008 Hindu scriptures, pieces of evidence on the yoga, with original Sanskrit verses and the scriptural references, which is the Apta Pramana, Shakshi Pramana, Atma Pramana, and also the Shastra Pramana, and English translation, which is freely available and downloadable from, as well as the printed publication which Nityananda Yoga have done for all the yoga teachers for practice and get trained worldwide. Yes, and also we are like to speak about the contributions of the Supreme Founder of Hinduism in the yoga, and which he has been honored with the two Guinness World Records and multiple Asia Book of Records. So now we would like you to take through the Guinness World Records. The first is the two Guinness World Records. Let's take a moment.
You all are officially amazing.
Thank you, Guinness World Records, helping us in our mission to bring legitimacy to all the Hindu tradition. My job is discovering the source of all the best things which is rooted in Vedas and Agamas, legitimizing it to live and celebrate.
Yes, now we have witnessed the two World Guinness Records, which Nityananda Yoga have holds with the blessings of the Supreme Founder of Hinduism, which is on
Nityananda Shiva Mahadeva say I see you and dump truck, my heart goes stuck stuck. He's Shiva Mahadeva, he's an avatar, drop everything at his feet. So feel free, just let it be. Watch him come while you listen to me. Nityananda. Jagat Guru Nityananda. That's right. Paramahamsa Nityananda.
We'd like to take this time to thank all of the VIPs, honorable guests, diplomats, and influential individuals who joined us from various governments, businesses, and all corners of the world. And for all who participated and experienced this grand International Day of Yoga with us here in Kailasa, thank you for celebrating the revival of authentic yoga as per the source scriptures. For more upcoming event details and to download the Nityananda Yoga Padati texts of 108, 308, and 508 asana sequences, visit us at kailasa.org.
Yes. Now we have witnessed the two Guinness Book of Records, which Kailasa's Nityananda Yoga holds, and also the multiple Asia Book of Records, which we have been holding it for years now. So now, as we are getting ready to receive the Supreme Point of Hinduism, to all the guests of honors who have joined us, many statesmen who have joined us from many countries, we welcome all of you now to be joining us today and being part of this wonderful segments. So let us take a honor to present about the introduction to Kailasa and the Supreme Point of Hinduism. So before we start, we have a beautiful video which clearly states about the juridical statehood and the history of Kailasa.
Around 5,000 years ago, at the end of Mahabharat War, the ancient enlightened Hindu civilization consisted of 10,000 Hindu traditions, or sampradayas, that existed in 56 Hindu nations, 200 Hindu kingdoms, 1,700 Hindu provinces that covered more than 6 million kilometers square of Asia. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, SPH, Bhagavan Sri Nityananda Paramashivam, is the reviver of Kailasa, this ancient enlightened Hindu civilizational nation. Kailasa is an unbroken cultural, religious, historical, civilizational, and sovereign continuation and revival of multiple of these historical Hindu sovereign states and Hindu ecclesiastical entities. The unbroken continuity of these ancient Hindu nations through Kailasa results in the legal recognition of Kailasa as per the international customary law, particularly the doctrine of continuity. The international law, the doctrine of continuity, implies that upheavals and revolutions within a country, changes in government, territorial adjustments, measures taken during military occupation, or other internal transformations do not negate the existence of the country, do not affect the legal personality and international obligations of the country or state. The Vienna Convention on Succession of States in respect of treaties, 1978, addresses these principles of the doctrine of continuity as it outlines international law during situation of state succession or continuation. International law recognizes a state's legal personality by recognizing its identity. This perspective extends even during the period when the given state or country is annexed or occupied by a foreign power. Even in such cases, the legal personality of the state is considered to persist, enabling its subsequent re-establishment. Historical examples dating back to the 18th century include cases like Portugal and Genoa that were re-established after the Vienna Congress of 1815. More recent examples include countries such as Poland, Ethiopia, Czechoslovakia, Albania, and Austria that were re-established after World War II. Even when a nation is deprived of its territory, the nation continues to exist. Its sovereignty and international legal personality continues to persist. The Dalai Lama, as the spiritual and temporal leader of Tibet, exemplifies this principle. In 1959, the Dalai Lama was exiled and forced to flee. Despite the challenges faced, the Dalai Lama continues to advocate for the preservation of Tibetan culture and garners worldwide support for Tibetan autonomy on the global stage. Similarly, from 1309 to 1376, the Pope of Catholicism had been in exile in Avignon. Despite this, he was recognized as the head of state as well as head of the church and given full privileges of the position after their return to Rome. Even in 1861, much of the papal territories had been lost, leaving the Pope with no sovereign territory other than the papal residence and related buildings. Yet his temporal powers were still acknowledged. He was recognized as a head of state, and later, the Lateran Treaty of 1929 formally re-established papal sovereignty over the Vatican City. The Sovereign Order of Malta further exemplifies this principle, retaining international recognition as a sovereign entity despite the permanent loss of their territory upon Napoleon's invasion in June 1798. Despite such permanent loss of territory, the sovereignty and the international legal personality of the Sovereign Order of Malta continue to persist. Much later in 1894, the order settled in Rome and acquired two properties, the Magistral Palace and the Magistral Villa that received extraterritorial status. Today, the order maintains diplomatic relations with 112 countries, issues its own diplomatic passports, currency, stamps, and vehicle registration plates, and has been granted observer status in the United Nations. All these examples of state re-establishment illustrate the principle of continuity of states, as per international law, that a state's legal personality persists over time. A nation continues to exist even after a complete loss of territory. A far more striking example is of the oceanic countries, which are under the threat of their entire nation being drowned and submerged due to rising sea levels owing to global warming. In response to such existential threat of climate change, Pacific Island nations, including Tuvalu, have enacted constitutional amendments and made international declarations affirming that their nation and their sovereign rights will continue to persist, despite their entire territory being lost to the sea. This proactive stance is highlighted in the Constitution of Tuvalu Act 2023 and the Pacific Islands Forum Declaration of 2021. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nityananda Paramashiva, through the line of succession is the present 203rd Emperor of the Hindu Sovereign Kingdom of Surangi Samrajya. He was crowned on the 31st of December 2004 at the age of 26. Thus, by very same principles of the doctrine of continuity, through which the international legal personality of Portugal, Genoa, Poland, Ethiopia, Czechoslovakia, Albania, Austria, Vatican, Tibet, Sovereign Order of Malta, and several other nations has been recognized despite having undergone a period of exile, annexation, occupation by a foreign power, or despite loss of territory. The SPH Nityananda Paramashivam, through well-established legal and historical facts about the Hindu sovereign state of the Surangi Samrajyam, derives all sovereign rights and powers of the royal lineage of the Surangi Samrajyam as its 203rd sovereign emperor from his inheritance and continuation of the unbroken succession of the kingdom of Surya Vamsa Surangi Samrajyam Sarvanapitha. Surya Vamsa Surangi Samrajyam, through unification with 20 other sovereign Hindu states and sovereign ecclesiastical, historical entities, became part of the United States of Kailasa, which thus became a sovereign, independent juridical state, with the SPH Nityananda Paramashivam as the sovereign. Just as how the oceanic nations like Tuvalu have safeguarded their sovereignty from the existential threat of total submersion by amending their constitution and asserting that their sovereignty will persist regardless of the loss of their territory, Kailasa, which is a sovereign continuation of 21 sovereign Hindu states and sovereign ecclesiastical historical entities, is also reviving and continuing the Kumari Kandam Hindu nations that got submerged. As per the doctrine of continuity, these facts imply that the Kailasa's statehood is recognized by international law and manifests as a natural outcome of well-established historical legal facts. Become part of this revival of the Hindu nation. Share your time, talent, and treasure to Kailasa, the world's first nation.
Yes. So all of us have witnessed about historical, juridical statehood of Kailasa. So in this video, we caught a glimpse of the remarkable endeavors undertaken by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism Bhagavan Sri Nityananda Parameshwaram, his unwavering commitment to reviving the grandeur of Hinduism in the form of religious of Kailasa is truly inspiring. I think everyone knows that. Kailasa, representing the sanctuary for the human rights and the religious freedom, stand as a beacon of hope for freedom, stand as a beacon of hope for the Hindus across the globe, safeguarding them from the persecution in more than 100 countries. Kailasa exemplifies the profound principle enshrined in its constitution, the Vedas and the Agamas, governed by the esteemed sovereign order of Kailasas Nityananda, the oldest governing body for Hinduism. Its vision and mission are dedicated to enlighten living for all the humanity. So at the very core of Kailasa's philosophy lies the fundamental principle of Advaita or oneness. This principle beautifully exposes the idea of the peaceful coexistence and the harmony among all the beings, embracing the belief that every human being is inherently equal and divine. Kailasa empowers individuals to realize their highest potential. So it is through the unwavering commitment to humanity, collective upliftment, and the pursuit of oneness that Kailasa set forth a path to more inclusive, compassionate, and harmonious world to all.
And a few of the kingdoms revived by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the juridical statehood, are namely Suryavamsha Surangi Samrajya Sarvagnipitam, Suvarnapita Swargapura Samrajya Sarvagnipitam, Shyamala Pita Sarvagnipitam, and also the Kanchi Kailasa Sarvagnapitam and the 17th sovereign Hindu ecclesiastical historical institutions that receive customary recognition by the United Nations as per the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations and the Vienna Conventions on Consular Relations. Therefore, just as any other state under international law, Kailasa is afforded its due diplomatic recognition privileges and immunities.
I think we have witnessed a wonderful video which also mentioned about the juridical statehood of Kailasa. And this is something which United Nations charters on diplomatic relations and the consular relations both have recognized the Kailasa's juridical statehood by the doctrine of continuity, which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the current successor of four of these main kingdoms, along with 17 other ancient Hindu kingdoms. So now we would like to bring a short video clips explains about the Kailasa's juridical statehood.
Nityananda, we will now be presenting the juridical statehood of the United States of Kailasa. The United Nations upholds Kailasa's privileges while recognizing Kailasa's inherited, unbroken, historical sovereign status as per the preamble of both the United Nations Convention on Diplomatic Relations and the United Nations Convention on Consular Relations, that declares that historical rules of customary international law continue to govern and confirms that all nations from ancient times have recognized privileges and immunities of sovereign entities of differing constitutional and social systems, and requires that a state shall not discriminate as between states, including a historical form of statehood. Kailasa is a sovereign subject of international law possessing distinctive attributes of juridical statehood derived from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nityananda Parameshivam's inheritance of the unbroken succession and the revival of three ancient Hindu sovereign states, namely the kingdoms of Suryavamsha, sovereign ecclesiastical historical institutions that receive customary recognition by the United Nations as per the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations and the Vienna Convention on Consular Relations. Further, in international law, the doctrine of continuity states that upheavals and revolutions within a country, changes in governmental forms, the extent of a country's territory and measures taken during a military occupation do not negate the
requires that a state shall not discriminate as between states, including historical forms of statehood. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, SPH Bhagavan Sri Nityananda Paramashivam, is the reviver of Kailasa, the ancient, enlightened Hindu civilizational nation. After enduring centuries of persecution, loss of Hindu sovereignty, challenges to Hindu human rights and development, the customary recognition of Kailasa as a sovereign entity by the United Nations marks a significant restoration and acknowledgement of Swarajya, the self-determination of enlightened Hindu civilizational nation. The United Nations recognition of Kailasa lies in two important aspects of international law. First, the United Nations Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations, VCDR, and second, the Vienna Convention on Consular Relations, the VCCR. These conventions are vital because they establish that the traditional rules of customary international law continue to influence the relationships between states. This means that the established and time-honored diplomatic practices and norms are still applicable today, thus supporting Kailasa's sovereign status. Both the United Nations VCDR and the VCCR declares that historical rules of customary international law continue to govern international diplomatic relationships and confirms that all nations from ancient times have recognized sovereign diplomatic rights irrespective of differing constitutional and social systems, as mentioned in the United Nations VCDR preamble, and finally requires that a state shall not discriminate as between states, including historical forms of statehood, as mentioned in the United Nations VCDR Article 47.1. The result of this recognition is that Kailasa receives equal treatment amongst the community of nations that also respect Kailasa's ancient roots and sovereign status, despite Kailasa having undergone centuries of invasion and colonization. As a consequence of these well-established facts and principles of international law, on the 18th of March 2024 and on the 1st of May 2024, the United Nations published two reports affirming and recognizing Kailasa's juridical statehood. This international acknowledgement of Kailasa's historical and legal rights is a monumental step towards the grand revival of the ancient enlightened Sanatana Hindu civilizational nation. Share your time, talent, and treasure. Become part of Kailasa. Sign up as an e-citizen https://kailasa.ecitizen.info.
Yes. So now we watched a few beautiful videos to understand more about, have more context about what Kailasa is, what the juridical statehood is. And next, we will be looking at today's events that are happening, the yoga competition, the people who have participated in the yoga competition. And I'm sure all of you are enjoying this whole session and here with us on this auspicious day of the yoga competition and the International Yoga Day.
Yes, as Maharaj have said that this Kailasa is hosting its grand International Yoga Day competition, and to just tell you that almost like more than 100 plus submission have came across almost like 20 countries, and it was like hard for the juries to even to go through all of them and also when choosing the winner. So that was very, very difficult, and that is that difficult job. I think every participants have given to us. I think through this Paramash Yogam program, which every day with grace and blessings of Supreme Point of Hinduism, Kailasas all around the world is giving the science and teaching PVK Prathama Vinyasa Karma to all of them. So by with that grace, everyone started doing manifesting even the difficult asanas all around the world. I think we thought, okay, initially, okay, advance is like really for the pro people, but we thought, and finally, there are so many submissions even came in the advanced level. So this is something which we are happy to share before getting into the international yoga day competition. And for all the viewers who are watching us live from the social medias, And we have all the participants who have joined us in a Zoom with us. So now we're going to have 3 awards for each category. We have hosted on the beginners level, intermediate level, and advanced level. And because of the difficulty which the juries have gone through, they also have suggested one more award, which is new for this event, which has not been told before, which is a special jury award. So without much delay, let us get into the Kailasa's International Yoga Day competition. And to start with, we would like to first confer the award for the beginners level.
Yes. So the first award is uh, being given to beginners category of the International Yoga Day competition, which is hosted by the Kailasa United Nations for Yoga.
And before honoring the award and hearing from Sarita, I just delight all the participants and the viewers now also to have a glimpse of the video which has been given for submission. So yes, so we are much honored to confer this International Yoga Day 2024, Kailasa's International Yoga Day Celebration 2024. The winner for beginners, Sarita Nishtala, and Nityanandam. Can you hear us? Yes.
Yes.
How are you doing, Kanna? I think you are so much excited. We are so much excited to give you this award to you. Yeah, please take a moment. Yeah, you can share your experience.
Nityanandam, I'm Tvaratan Mishra, and I'm 7 years old. And I'm 7 years old from India. And I joined Juridical, and I learned how to do puja, yoga, power manifestation with my third eye, and powerful coordinations. My teachers are guiding me on how to do yoga, and Swamiji has transformed my life and made me healthier, stronger, and more flexible. Thank you.
That's really wonderful. So, how many years you are practicing Nityananda Yoga now?
Now it would be like 2 months, not even a year.
Oh, that's really, really wonderful. So, how many asanas you can do perfect now? I think we saw that you have submitted almost, you did all the asanas perfectly for the beginners. So, how many asanas you can do in the entire PVK?
I haven't tried all, so I don't really know.
Okay.
50%.
That's really wonderful. I think this is something which is really marvelous. You're starting to practice Nityananda Yoga for 2 months and able to get crack the beginners level winner. That's really wonderful. Thank you, Nityanandam, for joining us today. And all the winners today will be directly receiving the blessings also from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism today. So yes. So with this, let us move on to the intermediate level. So we have winner for intermediate level also.
Yes, so the next award is being conferred to Zhang Qini. The intermediate level award is being conferred by the Kailasa United Nations for Yoga on the International Yoga Day 2024.
Yes, so on this auspicious day and the competition for the International Yoga Day 2024, we are much honored to confer the intermediate level winner to Ma Shukra Indrananda and Nityanandam. So before we're going to hear directly from Ma, we're gonna witness the video submission which we have received for the intermediate level.
Yes. So this was the video of Ma Shukrendra's submission, Nityanandama. Yes. So yes, Nityanandama, please go ahead and share your experience on how you practice the yoga. And yes, please go ahead.
Nityananda, I'm very honored to receive this award from Kailasa, and I want to offer my deep gratitude to our beloved Swamiji. Nityananda Yoga has transformed me in just a very short period of time. Actually, I just started to regularly practice it like for 3 months. So it's a very short period of time. And it's healed my long-term old lower back injury. And almost every day I see improvement in my yoga practice. I can do all kinds of postures that I haven't imagined I could before. And it's really amazing. Now my body feels tremendous flexibility and lightness and good Kundalini energy. And it's a great joy to live in this body. And I'm sure I will manifest a yogic body. So all thanks to Swamiji for bringing back authentic yoga from the source. Thank you so much, Swamiji.
That's really wonderful, Ma. Of course, I think everyone, there is one breakthrough which everyone gets through Nityananda Yoga is, I think many may say that, okay, we've gone through the injuries, you've gone through this fractures, this operations, all that. So you may not able to move this part of your body, all that. When the people started practicing Nityananda Yoga, it is not just a bending body. It is like it elevates our very consciousness itself. So many may able to come out of this medical recovery. So apart from the health benefits, what are the spiritual benefits you got through the Nityananda Yoga? And of course, we might have got multiple breakthroughs even in the business day-to-day life, because when we start our day with the yoga, it gives a tremendous clear and towards the day. So please share that experience, the spiritual benefit you received from the Nityananda Yoga.
Okay, as we all know, Swamiji has said in one satsang that yoga is not just to bend your body. You can manifest a healthy body, that yoga can make you a superhuman. You will manifest super powers. I feel by doing Nityananda yoga, my third eye power manifestation has improved a lot. Before doing yoga, I was not very competent in manifesting third eye, so I would often avoid doing it. So now I'm very interested in manifesting powers, and I treat it as a game for myself. And I'm looking forward to become a spiritual warrior for Kailasa.
That's really wonderful, Ma. And thank you for participating. I know that how many for selecting this intermediate level, we had almost like more than 30 to 40 nominations, particularly for this category. And of course, yeah, juries have gone through multiple levels of rounds. And yes, so finally you got it. So thank you for participating, Kailasa, and all of us on behalf of Kailasa and Swamiji. We are very much honored to give this award to Nityananda. Thank you.
Nityananda.
Yes. So with this, let us move on to the next category. So we're going to see the winner for the advanced level.
Yes, and the winner for the advanced level category is is Jing Shi.
Yes. And we are very much honored to present the advanced level winner to Ma Amartha Vandini. I think this is very, very, very difficult, really, because as I mentioned before the segment, we might like every competition when it comes to advanced level, there might be very little nomination for all that. Surprisingly, the advanced levels got multiple nominations compared to the others, and it was very, very difficult for even juries to categorize this winner. So before getting into directly hear from Amartha Vandini, let us see the nomination, the video submission which was given.
Yes. Yes. This was the video submission by Amrita Agni, the winner of the advanced level category of the Yoga Day competition. Yes, and also we have Amrita Vandini with us, Nityananda.
Nityananda.
Yes, Nityananda, please go ahead. You can share your experience in this endeavor and your experience with this the Nityananda Yoga. Please go ahead.
Yes, and I am very thankful that I could win this award on this auspicious International Yoga Day, and I am very happy and grateful to Swamiji. I have benefited a lot from yoga. It makes me more peaceful and complete inside, and my body is more supple and powerful, and I feel more confident and strong inside every time I have a breakthrough in yoga. And my friend can clearly notice that I am different to yoga practice. The way of looking at problems is wiser, and I am more joyful and kind. And he is very supportive of my yoga practice. And I am very grateful to Swamiji for reviving this original and ancient yoga. I hope more people can practice in Nityananda yoga. Yes, thank you.
That's really wonderful, Ma. Thank you for your sharings. So, how many years you've been practicing Nityananda Yoga?
Actually, maybe 2 years.
Okay, that's really wonderful. I think there are many asanas. This is something, as we mentioned, there are particular asanas. We did like you are the one unique submissions have come. So yes, we are very much honored to present this award to you on behalf of Kailasa. Yes, let's go and enrich more and more people towards practicing Nityananda Yoga. Yes, thank you for joining us today, Nityananda.
Thank you, Nityananda.
Yes. So let us move on to the special award category, which we have it today is the special jury award. Yes, the special jury award goes to Ma Jnana Lakshmi, and we all know Miss Annie Dayal, the last year winner for advanced category, right? So yes, it was very difficult and at the last moment, and yes, so that is why we just thought, okay, this has to be included, and yes, we have Ma Jnana Lakshmi with us. Yes, Nityananda Ma.
Nityananda, everyone. Do you hear me well?
Yes, we can hear you well. Yes, go ahead.
Good.
How
Thank
is the
you.
experience with the Nityananda Yoga? And of course, yeah, this is, I think, if we are not wrong, that one of the earliest submission for the advanced level came is from you. So yes, you can go ahead and share your experience.
Yes, thank you. Well, it's a wonderful experience always to participate to those competitions, to those challenges, because really yoga has changed my life tremendously. And I met Swamiji about 5 years ago through the Living Enlightenment book. And really, it's difficult to say how much yoga can change your life, because for really each point, it makes a difference. In the deepest cognition I got, Swami has brought nations to me for so many things, implicating liberation through completion, through unclutching, bringing everything to a deeper level. And some years ago, he told me that I would audit enlightenment in this body. And this is really what I'm experiencing. And I know for a good part, it's due to the practice of the spiritual routines in Brahma Muhurta. So I feel deeply blessed to be part of this Sangha and to enrich I might add from my level influence the world. Enriching the world is really something which is very important to me. And this is really thanks to our Guru, our beloved Guru.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you for your sharings. And I think put it on the record that one of the difficult posture we just even kept for advanced level, and we are really curious to see that how many are able to manifest this. And this is only one submission which came for the difficult posture is from Manya Lakshmi. And thank you, Ma, for being with us. And we are very much honored to present this special jury award to you. And we also
participate to all levels. And I will do a specific submissions to Swamiji just to thank him and really invite every people to practice yoga, because as Swamiji said, it's not just about physical things. It is really about everything. We just blossom when we start practicing the Nityananda yoga.
Yes, that's really wonderful, Ma. Thank you, Nityananda. And we also congratulate all the award recipients along with the people who have participated in this wonderful Nityananda International Yoga Day competition. We wish a very successful journey to be part of this International Yoga Day competition, which is hosted by Kailasa, with the grace and blessings of the Supreme Point of Hinduism. And we all will be receiving the special gift directly blessed by the Supreme Point of Hinduism also. And all the participants and as well as the winners will be receiving the special gift directly from the Supreme Point of Hinduism. So yes, once again, Nityanandam, and thank you all for being part of this the grand competition. And I think, yes, so now all of us are excited today. And for all the viewers who are watching us live today, to learn the Nityananda like yoga, which is the authentic yoga, join Paramashivagam level program, which is happening, I think, every day, every season is happening. And from tomorrow, today is the last day of the day 21 of Paramashivagam. And we're going to have the glimpses starting from tomorrow. And the next season is starting on June 29th. Please enroll yourself to Paramashivagam programs to multiple levels, where we can directly receive the Supreme Point of Hinduism blessings. And this is something which is not just a program, it is like completely a spiritual awakening for all of us. Please do register now on paramashivogam.org. So, yes, and today we're going to have special International Yoga Day special address, which is AI and Yoga, the future of spiritual awakening, directly from the Supreme Point of Hinduism. So before we get there, and let us take a moment, we would like to take a moment to welcome all the VIPs and the guest of honors who joined us now. So before getting there, we're going to have a short break. Please stay tuned with us.
परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृताम् धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे.
Like he always did, he created a buzz with the simple blink of an eyelid. As a village boy and a president, running a nation 110%. The golden Raja with the jasmine scent, the holy Godzilla, the ego killer. The pure truth to the world he presents. He's the true master, the real karma blaster. A dose of his truth fills you with fire, raises you to Kailasa. Higher and higher, simple Shakti path, you straight into bliss. All incompletions are completely dismissed. I am the
Yoga has religion, that is Hinduism. Yoga has religion, that is Hinduism.
Yes, Nityanandam. So now, as we are getting ready to receive the Supreme Point of Hinduism, now let us take a moment to welcome all the guest of honors, statesmen, princesses, queens, kings, who joined us from almost 140 countries for this special event with us. And thank you once again for all the awardees today on the Yoga Day competitions. Yes. So first, we would like to welcome Honorable Professor Joseph Malassi, the advisor to Vice Prime Minister and the Minister of Environment and Sustainable Development, Democratic Republic of Congo. Welcome, Professor Malassi, for joining us today and become part of this event today. And we have with us His Excellency Stephen Melosa, a diplomatic advisor to the Prime Minister, the Republic of Congo. Greetings, Your Excellency. being part of today's event.
Next, we have Mr. Armando de Silva, Chief of Staff of the Director General of Migration and Borders, Republic of Guinea-Bissau. We welcome you. Yes. Next, we have Mrs. Marcia McClashy Belgrove, co-founder, director, and corporate secretary of Rose Foundation, Trinidad and Tobago. We welcome you.
And we have Mr. Sterling Belgrove, the co-founder of the Rose Foundation, former advisor to the government of Trinidad and Tobago. And we welcome Mr. Sterling and for being part of this wonderful event.
Yes, next we have Mr. Kadri Mutahi, CEO of Africa Insights Consulting, Kenya.
And we have with us Mr. Alaji Baha, the Deputy Permanent Secretary to the Ministry of Justice, Gambia. We welcome Mr. Alaji for joining us today.
Next, we have Honorable Ms. Nicole Marder, former Minister of Tourism, Republic of Honduras. Next, we have Honorable Mr. Humberto Lopez Ochoa, former Ambassador of Honduras to Ecuador and Peru, Republic of Honduras. We welcome you. Yes. Next, we have Mr. Balbino Gonzalez, Secretary General, Congress of Gunayala Nation, the Republic of Panama.
Yes. So next we have Dr. Singh Prithvi Ravish, the President of Indo-Argentina Chamber of Commerce and former Ambassador at Large and Secretary to the Asia Region of International Human Rights Commission, Republic of India, Bharat. We welcome Dr. Singh for being part of this wonderful event. And we have next Mr. Samuel James, Head of Programs, the Federation of Liberian Youth, Republic of Liberia. And we have with us Her Excellency Dr. Queen Evelyn Yo, Honesty 11, the resident ambassador to the State of African Diaspora, so in Nigeria. And she's also the Dean Ambassador and the Executive President of the Southwest and Africa Forum Federation, and also the founder and the national coordinator of the NGOs in Nigeria. We welcome Your Excellency for being part of today's International Yoga Day celebration.
Yes, next we have Dr. Basi King Efio, State Chairperson of Counseling Associations of Nigeria, the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Yes, we welcome you, Doctor. Yes, next we have Mr. Alan Said, entrepreneur, co-founder of Greenway Revolution, former senator of the Congress of Palau. Yes, next we have Mr. Jose Adan Cuas, owner of Hacienda San Lucas from the Republic of Honduras.
And we have with us Mr. Lee Chun Hens, chairman of Taiwan Cattle Farming Cultural Association from Taiwan. And we have many guests also who joined us now. And Prince Besi Ekonge, the Prince of the Ekwang Nation of Calabar Municipality in the South River State, Federal Republic of Nigeria. And we have Mr. Zhang Movongyo of Goku Fang Community, Republic of Cameroon. And we have with us
Her Excellency Ambassador Victoria Adenke Adalina, Deputy Dean Ambassador of Southwest and African Forum Federation, the Republic of Nigeria. Next, we have Mr. Salman George, former representative of Legislature of Liberia, Republic of Liberia. Next, we have Mr. Yaya Danso Sise, chairman of Catalunya and the Gambia Foundation, the Republic of Gambia.
And next we have with us Mr. Clement Avanso Negato, the President of Global Compassion, Republic of Cameroon. And also we welcome you, sir. Also one of the Mitra awardee of Kailasa. And next we have with us Mr. Kash, the Deputy Principal and the French Program Coordinator at the International Marif School of Ethiopia, Democratic Republic of Congo.
Next we have Next, we have Mr. Umar Dramat, Head of Inspectorate Unit Kasi Area Council, the Republic of Gambia. Next, we have Ms. Fatumata Juwara, Administrator to Catalonia and Gambia Foundation, Parliamentary Candidate on United Democratic Party from the Republic of Gambia. Next, we have Mr. Bakiro Mbalo, Studies and Planning Assistant in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Republic of Guinea-Bissau. Next, we have Officer Dudu Indekui, Police Officer of Public Order and the Secretary of Minister Cabinet of Ministry of Interior, the Republic of Guinea-Bissau. Next, we have Gabriel Antolovich, Board President, Billy DeFrank, an LGBTQ Community Center, San Jose.
And of course, yes, it is a long list. And as we now quickly getting ready to receive the Supreme Part of Hinduism, we welcome once again all the guests of honors for joining us today and become part of this Kailasa's International Yoga Day celebration 2024. So as we quickly getting ready, we would like to quickly present a short video about, for those who have joined us now, we would like to bring a short introduction video about Kailasa and the juridical statute of Kailasa.
Around 5,000 years ago, at the end of Mahabharat War, the ancient enlightened Hindu civilization consisted of 10,000 Hindu traditions, or sampradayas, that existed in 56 Hindu nations, 200 Hindu kingdoms, 1,700 Hindu provinces that covered more than 6 million kilometer square of Asia. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, SPH, Bhagavan Sri Nityananda Paramashivam, is the reviver of Kailasa, this ancient enlightened Hindu civilizational nation. Kailasa is an unbroken cultural, religious, historical, civilizational, and sovereign continuation and revival of multiple of these historical Hindu sovereign states and Hindu ecclesiastical entities. The unbroken continuity of these ancient Hindu nations through Kailasa results in the legal recognition of Kailasa as per the international customary law, particularly the doctrine of continuity. The international law, the doctrine of continuity, implies that upheavals and revolutions within a country, changes in government, territorial adjustments, measures taken during military occupation, or other internal transformations do not negate the existence of the country, do not affect the legal personality and international obligations of the country or state. The Vienna Convention on Succession of States in Respect of Treaties, 1978, addresses these principles of the doctrine of continuity as it outlines international law during situation of state succession or continuation. International law recognizes a state's legal personality by recognizing its identity. This perspective extends even during the period when the given state or country is annexed or occupied by a foreign power. Even in such cases, the legal personality of the state is considered to persist, enabling its subsequent re-establishment. Historical examples dating back to the 18th century include cases like Portugal and Genoa that were re-established after the Vienna Congress of 1815. More recent examples include countries such as Poland, Ethiopia, Czechoslovakia, Albania, and Austria. that were re-established after World War II. Even when a nation is deprived of its territory, the nation continues to exist. Its sovereignty and international legal personality continues to persist. The Dalai Lama, as the spiritual and temporal leader of Tibet, exemplifies this principle. In 1959, the Dalai Lama was exiled and forced to flee. Despite the challenges faced, the Dalai Lama continues to advocate for the preservation of Tibetan culture and garners worldwide support for Tibetan autonomy on the global stage. Similarly, from 1309 to 1376, the Pope of Catholicism had been in exile in Avignon. Despite this, he was recognized as the head of state as well as head of the church and given full privileges of the position after their return to Rome. Even in 1861, much of the papal territories had been lost, leaving the Pope with no sovereign territory other than the papal residence and related buildings. Yet his temporal powers were still acknowledged. He was recognized as a head of state, and later, the Lateran Treaty of 1929 formally re-established papal sovereignty over the Vatican City. The Sovereign Order of Malta further exemplifies this principle, retaining international recognition as a sovereign entity despite the permanent loss of their territory upon Napoleon's invasion in June 1798. Despite such permanent loss of territory, the sovereignty and the international legal personality of the Sovereign Order of Malta continue to persist. Much later in 1894, the order settled in Rome and acquired two properties, the Magistral Palace and the Magistral Villa that received extraterritorial status. Today, the order maintains diplomatic relations with 112 countries, issues its own diplomatic passports, currency, stamps, and vehicle registration plates, and has been granted observer status in the United Nations. All these examples of state re-establishment illustrate the principle of continuity of states, as per international law, that a state's legal personality persists over time. A nation continues to exist even after a complete loss of territory. A far more striking example is of the oceanic countries, which are under the threat of their entire nation being drowned and submerged due to rising sea levels owing to global warming. In response to such existential threat of climate change, Pacific Island nations, including Tuvalu, have enacted constitutional amendments and made international declarations affirming that their nation and their sovereign rights will continue to persist, despite their entire territory being lost to the sea. This proactive stance is highlighted in the Constitution of Tuvalu Act 2023 and the Pacific Islands Forum Declaration of 2021. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nityananda Paramashiva, through the line of succession is the present 203rd Emperor of the Hindu Sovereign Kingdom of Surangi Samrajya. He was crowned on the 31st of December 2004 at the age of 26. Thus, by very same principles of the doctrine of continuity, through which the international legal personality of Portugal, Genoa, Poland, Ethiopia, Czechoslovakia, Albania, Austria, Vatican, Tibet, Sovereign Order of Malta, and several other nations has been recognized despite having undergone a period of exile, annexation, occupation by a foreign power, or despite loss of territory. The SPH Nityananda Paramashivam, through well-established legal and historical facts about the Hindu sovereign state of the Surangi Samrajyam, derives all sovereign rights and powers of the royal lineage of the Surangi Samrajyam as its 203rd sovereign emperor, from his inheritance and continuation of the unbroken succession of the kingdom of Surya Vamsa Surangi Samrajyam Sarvanapitha. Surya Vamsa Surangi Samrajyam, through unification with 20 other sovereign Hindu states and sovereign ecclesiastical, historical entities, became part of the United States of Kailasa, which thus became a sovereign, independent juridical state, with the SPH Nityananda Paramashivam as the sovereign. Just as how the oceanic nations like Tuvalu have safeguarded their sovereignty from the existential threat of total submersion by amending their constitution and asserting that their sovereignty will persist regardless of the loss of their territory, Kailasa, which is a sovereign continuation of 21 sovereign Hindu states and sovereign ecclesiastical historical entities, is also reviving and continuing the Kumari Kandam Hindu nations that got submerged. As per the doctrine of continuity, these facts imply that the Kailasa's statehood is recognized by international law and manifests as a natural outcome of well-established historical legal facts. Become part of this revival of the Hindu nation. Share your time, talent, and treasure to Kailasa, the world's first nations for Hindus. Sign up as a citizen.
Yoga has religion, that is Hinduism. Yoga has religion, that is Hinduism.
You all are officially amazing.
Thank you, Guinness World Records, helping us in our mission to bring legitimacy to all the Hindu tradition. My job is discovering the source of all the best things which is rooted in Vedas and Agamas, legitimizing it to live and celebrate. Mahasadashivoham.
Yes. So as we all now getting ready to receive the Supreme Part of Hinduism, and we have also many guests of honors who have joined us now. We welcome each one of you for being part of this today's International Yoga Day celebration. And we have a special satsang, presidential address from the Supreme Panel just a few minutes away from having the direct presidential address directly from the Supreme Panel of Hinduism. And today marks also the last day of Paramashivam program. Almost like more than thousands of people have joined for the spiritual awakening, which is gifted by the Supreme Pontiff and those. And we all know that today we are celebrating the International Yoga Day 2024, and we would like to bring you to the Guinness World Book of Records and also the Asia Book of Records, which Kailasa holds. And for all the participants who have joined us now, we would like to present you the awards.
The record for performing the maximum traditional asanas in 1 hour was set by SPH Nityananda Paramashivam.
Kailasa's Nityananda Yoga Festival 2022 is in the books. The record books, that is. Thanks to the grace and blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, who revealed the next 2 levels of Nityananda Yoga sequences of 308 and 508 postures. And on this International Day of Yoga, he created a record for the most traditional asanas performed in just 1 hour. Hundreds of participants from all over the globe joined in to experience this blessed day for humanity, which hosted a full day of events. Included in this day, Nityananda Yoga, in conjunction with Sri Kailasa's Uniting Nations for Yoga Department, presented some of the countless gifts that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has provided for the global yoga community. Throughout the day, there were various meditations, kriyas, third eye power manifesting sessions, yoga classes, and more. The day culminated with the successful attempt and achievement of the newly released 308 asana sequence, the Dvitya Vinyasa Krama, which was completed in under 60 minutes.
Om Namo Nityanandai, Namo Namo Nityanandai, Om Namo Nityanandai, Sadashivaya Om, Om Namo Nityanandai, Namo Namo Nityanandai, Om Namo Nityanandai, Sadashivaya Om. Nityananda Sadashiva Mahadeva say, Nada Adaguna Jadamudi Miss. I see you and don't track my heart goes tak tak. Maraina Nina Pakumuna Yanoda Asai. Let's sing it once more. Nityananda Sadashiva Mahadeva say, Nada Adaguna Jadamudi Miss. I see you and don't track my heart goes tak tak. Maraina Nina Pakumuna Yanoda Asai. He's Sadashiva Mahadeva. He's an avatar, drop everything at his feet. So feel free, just let it be. Watch him come while you listen to me. None other than Nityananda, Jagat Guru Nityananda. That's right, Paramahamsa Nityananda.
We'd like to take this time to thank all of the VIPs, honorable guests, diplomats, and influential individuals who joined us from various governments, businesses,
You
and
all
all
are
corners.
officially amazing.
Discovering the source of all the best things, which is rooted in Vedas and Agamas, legitimizing it to live and celebrate. Mahasadashivoham. Yoga has religion, that is Hinduism. Yoga has religion, that is Hinduism.